Hello everybody and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Red. So in between episodes I went through and I did a little bit of work. If we come back over here to our travel anchor, we see that we still have our Thaumcraft, but we have a new portal down here. This is down to the another portal. This is just so we don't have to come in and out of the door here and up and around. It just makes it a little bit nicer to you know, move around our base without having to do a bunch of walking. And as you can see, if we pop over here to Thaumcraft, I went through and I found a bunch of ARA nodes. I've scanned all these, but yeah, we have a normal here with 23 Terra, 27 R, and 32 Perditio. We have one over here that is 15 R, 24 Aqua, 36 Perditio. I found this guy chilling in the nether, not too far from the nether portal, a 90 Ignis, that'll be nice. We also have 57 Aqua and 42 Ordo. Ordo is always the one that we use the most of, so I wanted to make sure I got plenty of Ordo. Over here we have a 32 Aqua and 18 Mortus, which we really can't do much of anything with just yet, and 45 Ordo. Here we have a pure node, which has some Victus in it, and of course 20 Terra and 10 Perditio. And that being a pure node, if we do anything that you know, causes any type of flux or warp, that'll help keep this area clean, and in fact over time it will turn this entire chunk that this node is in into a magical forest, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind living in magical forests. So over here we have a bright node, which means it will recharge faster with 22 Ordo, 20 Terra, and 23 Perditio. We have another normal bright R, Perditio, and Aqua, 32 Aqua, 25 Perditio, 22 Air. I have a pure air node here, or not a pure, but a regular straight up air node with 73 air in it. That'll come in handy. We have a straight up 76 Perditio, that'll be really nice as well. And last but not least, we have this little guy, 22 air, 25 Ignis, and 26 Ordo. I'm not sure if he is fully recharged yet or not, because I actually hit him up for some recharge on my wand. So as we can see here, we have a fully charged gold banded Greatwood wand, which is great. We'll be using quite a bit of that here very shortly. And I also have this guy over here. He's a little bit smaller than I would like. He's only a 76 Terra, but I separated him from the rest because he is kind of special. We're going to be doing something very special with him fairly soon. So I wanted to set him over here in this special area, because these two areas here will be a lot of processing, and he will help out with the processing. I also went through and I made these earth crystal shards. The earth, not just the earth crystal, but crystal shards of all 6 of the elemental or primal elements. There we go. And that's real easy to make if we look up cluster, because that's what they are called. You just take any type of shard, put them in a 2x3 in your crafting grid, and that gets you the air crystal cluster or the Ignis fire air crystal cluster, whatever. And again, we have 8 of the order crystals down here, crystal clusters, and 4 of everything else. Well, see, we have 6 there, 6 there. Looks like I need to add a couple more Aqua and a couple more Entropy, or the Perditio. So I can just show you guys right here how it's done. It's just like that. We'll grab 2 more of them. Then let's go ahead and make 2 more of those. There we go. Now what this does is the research table will actually look in a fairly large range around it for any type of crystal or anything for that fact. And of course I did air or earth, and I wanted aqua. That's fine. These guys are really easy. It doesn't matter. You can use bare hand. Just punch them and they break down and they give you the 6 shards back. So that's really kind of nice. If you have limited storage, it's a nice way to also store them. There we go. I want the water shards. Let's do these up real quick here. I'll just do it that way. There we go. But yeah, as I was saying, the research table will search around, I want to say it's 15 blocks in all directions for anything that it can use to gain research. So if we open up the research table, we'll see that air is sparkling, aqua is sparkling, ignis, even our ordo, our perditio, and our terra. That's because it is picking up these crystal clusters here, and every once in a while, it's not, you know, like these numbers will just take off, but every once in a while it will pick one of these random clusters to pull a point from. And the reason why we have more ordo crystals than we do the rest is because we're hoping that it'll pull more ordo than it will the rest, because we use a lot of ordo. You need ordo for the mortis, or for the modus rather, and you know, modus is used for a lot of things, so you go through a lot of ordo aspect to do research and to create other aspects. So of course we want as much ordo as we can possibly get. However, in this episode we're going to work on something that is going to help us cut down on how many aspects we use. If you remember the tail end of last episode, we made the gold banded great wood wand, and you know, that gives us a 95 average cost, V cost, per crafting that we use with this wand, which is nice. So if something costs 100 V, it's only going to cost us 95 V when we use this wand. However, we're getting an additional 5% from our goggles of revealing here. So again, that same 100 V cost now only costs us 90. Well, there's ways that we can drop that down even more. And for that, we're going to need a little bit of string, actually quite a bit of string. So let's go ahead and grab about a stack of string, and we're also going to need some wool. So let's grab some wool here. And actually we're going to need a bit more than that. Actually might need just about all of our wool. 20 might be enough. Actually I think we need 19 if memory serves. So we'll put that one back. And we'll come over here and let's go ahead and grab this iron capped wand out of here. This thing's really kind of useless now. We'll keep it around because when we start doing some stuff and building our altar over there for our infusion crafting, the ironwood wand can still be used to start the crafting process. We just won't use it for anything else, for any crafting or anything like that, because if you look, again, that's got a 105% V cost. So again, that same 100 that we've got knocked down to 90 with the gold banded great wood wand and our goggles of revealing, if we were to use this, it would be a 100% average V cost because of the goggles of revealing. Or if we didn't have anything on, you know, that same 100 points would cost us 105 points. So we really don't want to be doing that. So we're just going to shift click our wand. We'll put that into the table. We've got our goggles of revealing on. We'll take some string and just go like that, and nothing will happen. Why is nothing happening? It's not like this, is it? No, it's not like that. Okay. Well, yeah, that's it. Red, throw it on the ground. That's real brilliant. You know what, maybe we don't have the research for it. So let's come in here in our Thaumonomicon and look at Thaumaturgy and see if we have the research. Nope, it's going to be under Artifacts. Yep, there we go. We don't have the research for it. We want to learn how to do Enchanted Fabric. There we go. An Enchanted Fabric is just one of each aspect of the primal, And I did have the recipe right. It's 1 piece of wool, 4 pieces of string, and that will get you 1 piece of enchanted fabric. Well, what do you do with that enchanted fabric? Well, you make armor with it, of course. And as you can see, for 5 air and 8 pieces of the enchanted fabric, we get some Thaumaturge's robes, which adds another 2% V discount. We take 7 with 5 aqua, and we get the Thaumaturge's leggings, which is another 2%, so now we're up to an additional 4% off. And lastly, we take 3 Terra and the last 4 of our enchanted fabric to get the Thaumaturge's boots. That gives us an additional 1%, dropping it down, or adding to it collectively for an additional 5% V reduction. So now, again, that same 100 points that we have knocked down to 90 between just our Goggles of Revealing and having that wand, that gold banded wand, we will now knock it down to 85%. How cool is that? So, let's get started here. We're actually going to need a little bit more string than what I grabbed, because 64 divided by 4 is only 16. So let's grab some string, and we will go 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So now we have enough to do everything. We'll pop our wool in there, do that, grab the rest of this wool, and there we go, and we will pull out our 19 enchanted fabric. And of course, we're just going to go straight into crafting. There's our robes, there's our leggings, and we can just go ahead and do that. So there's our leggings, that auto completes the boots, and there's our boots. So as you can see, we used quite a bit of V to craft that stuff, but that's why we went and got all these all these nodes in between episodes here. So we can just come over here and pull from these nodes to completely recharge our wand. And we won't have to do this for very long, hopefully, because there are other ways to charge that we will get into as fast as possible here. So let's just recharge the wand completely up. Need a little bit more Terra. There we go, and there we go, 50 across the board. So, let's make us one other thing that will help us out a little bit. Let's create an armor stand. An armor stand is really easy to make. It is just a couple of iron ingots and a couple of stone slabs, which we should have. We do. Excellent. Let's go ahead and grab that, and we will grab ourselves a lever as well. Any lever will do. Perfect. And let's just kind of come over. Where do we want this to live? You know what? Let's just put it right here. Looks like a good place for it to live. So we'll hop down into bat mode here. We'll swap everything out. We will put our armor stand right in there. In fact, we can even swap this out. And, well, that didn't work out quite like planned. So we'll do that. We'll pop that in there. There we go. Now we can put our armor stand there. Now we can take the lever and put it on the bottom of this armor stand, or on the block nearby. That's fine. So now what it is if we shift click, it will take off our armor one at a time and put it on the armor stand. Well, you know, that's cool and all, I guess. You know, or we can open the interface here and do it manually ourselves and just, you know, swap everything out. You see our boots just got swapped out, and you know, yeah, that's all well and good, you know. Or like I said, you know, we can shift click and we can change out our helmet, we can change out our chest and our legs and our boots, and yeah, it works. However, if you provide this with a redstone signal, and now if you shift click, it completely changes everything for you. So you can change out your entire suit of armor with just one simple shift click. So that's definitely what we want to do, you know, make this work smarter, not harder, right guys? So there we go. We've got our reduction gear on, and in fact, you know what? That actually might be kind of cool. Because we have all these over here, guys, as well. We have all these suits of armor, and these add V discount as well. But they also add warping, which warping is something that we'll get into a lot later in Thaumcraft. But let me think about that, because we can actually put some of this armor on the armor stands as well. And that might actually look pretty cool. So there we go. We have, you know, there's our 5, there's 7, there's 9. There's an extra 10% off of our V use, plus the 10% off there. We are down to 80 V reduction now, because of this gold banded great wood wand. How cool is that? Hold on a sec, I just noticed something, guys. Well, isn't that interesting? Okay, so it's 90 overall. I'm sorry. When you hover over your wand, it'll tell you the average V cost, and I thought that was just for the wand, but it's not. The wand has a 100% V cost, but we are taking the 10% off from our clothing here that we are wearing, so that's being reflected in the wand. So I do apologize about the confusion there. So next we are going to grab some shards, shards that we have a ton of, like water shards. And let us go ahead and work on making some arcane blocks. So the arcane stone block is just some sort of stones surrounding some sort of shard. Well, that's not a problem. Let's go ahead and grab some stone. We should have plenty of that. Oh yeah. And we will come over here and just pop our water shard in there. Just go ring around the rosy with the regular stone, because we're going to need quite a few of these. And we will pull a stack of these arcane stones out. A little bit more than a stack. There we go. So now with these, as you saw, we can chisel them into all sorts of different things, but these are the building blocks for just about anything that you do in Thaumcraft. Well, right now, we're going to take these, and we're going to create a shape like thus. And why are they not working? Because what we want to make... I know why they're not working. Because I'm getting way ahead of myself. We need to do research. So, let's come over here, and we will learn metallurgy, which allows us to make our thaumium ingots. That's just in the crucible, like we've seen before, 4 percantatio. And 1 piece of iron will give us 1 thaumium ingot. And of course, thaumium is used for axes, swords, shovels, pickaxes, hoes. You can even make thaumium armor, which it's not bad armor. It's really not. So there's that. And that should start opening up stuff. But we have the arcane lamp here that we can learn. The arcane lamp is awesome because with that, you take a piece of nitor, a block of that amber, which that's just 4 pieces of amber in a crafting grid, and that'll give you the amber block. A daylight sensor, a couple pieces of iron, and it creates the arcane lamp. Arcane lamp is the lamp that I was talking about will light up the entire area, and we won't have to worry about too much of anything, especially in the way of torches. So let's get alumentum, which is better than coal. It burns a lot faster, a lot cleaner, and it helps break down aspects. We're also going to get distillation. That is basically a small holding tank for the aspects. and that opens up, of course, our V filters, which help filter the V if we want to make tubes that have filters, so only a certain type of V can go through the filter. We can do that. So we need to learn how to make the tubes, of course, and the advanced tubes. Of course, the advanced tubes, there's the filtered Essentia tube. We can have a restricted Essentia tube, which basically restricts how much flow of Essentia goes through it, as the name suggests, or even a directional, so V can only flow one direction and not another. This is the big one we're after here, the Essentia crystallizer. This will take Essentia that we pump into it, and it will turn it into Essentia crystals, which we can then use in the crucible. So if we take, for instance, a piece of cobblestone here, well, we'll just show you the button. So if we were to take the button and throw it in the crucible, it would give us 1 tera and 1 machina. Well, that machina we wouldn't be using, because let's say we have a recipe that calls for 1 tera. We would still have that 1 machina left over. Well, that just sits in the crucible and starts producing nasty stuff that we don't like, and that's called flux. So you either empty out the crucible and release that flux into the air, or you just let it sit in there and do what it does, potentially ruining your recipe later on down the road. Well, what the crystallizer will do is it will take that 1 tera and it will create a crystal for it. It will take that 1 machina and create a crystal for it. So if we have a recipe that requires 1 tera V or aspect, we can take one of those tera crystals and that counts as 1 aspect point, and we can dump that into the crucible and not have any leftover mess. Cool, right? So there's that. We are trying to work our way up to, not alchemy, thaumaturgy, not thaumaturgy either. Magical tallow. We will need that. That's made with some praecantatio and a zombie brain to get 1 tallow, and then the tallow can be used to make magical candles, which are awesome. They stay lit all the I can't talk today, guys. It stays lit all of the time. But it will also help add to the stability of our altar. But I have another trick up my sleeve that we'll probably use. And there we go, that finally unlocked what we wanted, our infusion. So, for our infusion, we're going to need a runic matrix, which is going to be 4 of those arcane stones, 4 types of any shard, 1 ender pearl, and 40 ordo, just to make the runic matrix. We're also going to need some of these arcane pedestals, which is what I was trying to make in the first place. We're going to need about 13 of these. So, that's 5 air a piece before the discount. This recipe gets you 2, so we'll need to do 6 iterations. That's 7 iterations, actually, so that's not too bad. Then this is the recipe to build that. You need 4 arcane stone bricks with the pedestal in the middle. Then you have regular arcane stone, an empty space above the pedestal, and then that's where the runic matrix goes. And 25 of each aspect in your wand. Now, the V discount does not necessarily come into play here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how generous it wants to be. So there we go. We've got that, and we need 7 iterations, but let's just double check our math. There we go. Okay, so now we just need to make some arcane stone bricks. There we go. And then we can go like that, go like that, and let's come over here. We'll grab an ender pearl, like so, and we will pop that in there, and we have barely enough in our wand here. Well, actually we have plenty, So there's our runic matrix. So now, with these, let's come over here and recharge our wand, because we will definitely be needing more than what we got to activate this thing. So get some Perditio, make sure everything else is filled up, get turned around, you know how it goes. We'll just kind of pull everything that we can from all these guys. Ordo, looks like the only thing we're missing is Ignis, yep. So over here to the big guy, and there we go. So now, for this, we're going to want the arcane stone bricks, which we will just break and replace these. That's why I had this set up here like this. See? Almost like I knew what I was doing. There we go. Now we have a pedestal that needs to go right here in the center. Awesome. And, well, I didn't think this one out too well. That's fine. We'll just take one of the stone blocks. Now if you just right click, it will put it on the pedestal. We don't want that. So if you shift right click, it will actually place the block. So there we go. And we will break that. And we will put down our runic matrix on top of that. Then of course we can break out that middle one. There we go. Now we go around to each of the four corners and put the stone bricks on. And now we watch the magic happen. We've got a full wand here. Come up to the runic matrix, give it a right click. And there we go. Now we have our Thaumcraft altar. How cool is that? You know, Thaumcraft has some of the best animations that I've seen in a lot of mod packs, or a lot of mods. Azenor has done a really, really good job with Thaumcraft, and I really enjoy the mod a lot. So there's that, but we still have all of these arcane pedestals. Well, what we're going to do with these is we're going to come out 2 blocks, 1 block. And then we are going to go over 2 and up 1. So it's right on the corner. It's actually right there. And I was right the first time. I should stop second guessing myself. 2 blocks away. And we are just going to form a circle right around this runic altar. Like so. Like so. And thus. And that. And there, and here, and one last one right there. So now if we take a look, we have 12 pedestals around the outside. We have 1 in the center. And let's check our F7, make sure that there's no lighting issues. There aren't. Not that mobs would spawn anyway on this floor, because it's the anti-block, remember. So that is 1 completed runic matrix. Now, the runic matrix will search in a 12 by 12 on the X and Z axis, if you prefer. It will check +5 on the Y and -10 on the Y. So this thing will search 12 this way, 12 this way, 5 up, and 10 down for stabilizers. Well, that's why we had the cobblestone out here. This is actually at 13. So the actual block that it will stop searching for will be right here. And same with here. We had cobblestone here, but I had to move it for the R node. This is on 13, so it'll stop searching right there. Okay? And that will be the last block it searches for. Well, we can do this a various amount of ways. What I had always done in the past is I had gone through and I had collected heads, because heads actually work as stabilizers. So, the thing with Thaumcraft that you must always remember is that you have to remain balanced at all times. So if you put 1 here, then you have to put 1 over here. And if you put one on each side here. Yes, it's balanced, but you also have to put one here, and you have to put one here. So now it is completely balanced. Well, as you can see, this would take a lot of heads, or a lot of crystals. The crystal clusters count as stabilizers as well. We could use those. Or we could use, like I said, heads, or we could use the magical candles for stabilization. I don't like my runic altar to be unstable at all. So, in between episodes, I will go through and I will, find a way to make things as stable as possible. We might get a few more items that I can do. See, we have a bunch of these infused stone. So let me do some checking, guys. But I will work on getting this stabilized so that we can craft just about anything that we want to craft in the infusion altar without having to worry about things being unstable. Because when things are unstable, bad things happen. Stuff gets destroyed off from the pedestals. You will get flux everywhere, and it's just a mess of noise. Nobody wants that. Nobody got time for that. So, I may just end up making a bunch of crystal clusters, being that we have so many shards right now, and we have stacks of shard ore in the AE system. Plus, we have the digital miner, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. Let me take a look. Well, we do not have the digital miner. So how did we get... Something's not adding up. I swear. We had a digital miner. Where did it go? Am I just not seeing it? No, it's not there. Alright. Well, I will look for the digital miner in between episodes, find out what I did with it. Did I put it over here? Nope, that's all of our fireworks. Well, poo. Sure, you guys will tell me in the comments where it went to. At least I hope you'll tell me in the comments where it went to, because I swore we had a miner. Because I really remember coming over here and using it right here. Or maybe I'm just going loony. Do we have a tesseract hooked up somewhere? That I, well, yeah, we have a tesseract. It's hooked up to the main power. So, where did that digital miner go? Yeah, I knew we had one. I just have no idea where it went to. So yeah, I guess in between episode here, guys, I will go and hunt down our digital miner, because, well, that thing seems to have disappeared on us. And yeah, I will work on balancing out that that altar that we have downstairs, so that we don't have to worry about bad things happening. We can do just whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it, and again, not have to worry about the consequences of, is this stable? Is this going to cause a mess or anything like that? So, if you enjoyed this episode, guys, make sure that you hit that like button and or leave a comment down below. Let me know what you liked about the episode, what you didn't like about the episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because subscribing not only helps me out, but, if there's anybody that you watch, make sure you subscribe to them and hit the like button, because it helps us all out. It not only does it help me out, but it helps out, the fellow YouTubers that work in conjunction with me to provide you guys with the best entertainment possible. So have a great one, guys. I will definitely talk to you in the next video, and hopefully I'll have that digital miner in my hands, and we will continue down the path of magic with Thaumcraft. So take it easy, guys. See ya.